Yo, 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 yo. Come on in, man. Come on in. Come on in. Have a seat. Come on
Yeah,
in. Have a seat. And before we get started, and all your eyes are not deceiving you, we got a Falcons legend in the building today, man. And we also have a
we
special guest.
live.
We live, man. we
Hi.
live. We
Anybody
live.
out there? Y'all out there?
Hey, they coming. Trust me, they coming.
You
Come
about to
on,
And
pull
I,
come
in.
on,
Easy.
come
man,
on.
look, I've been had people, inboxing me all week, man. You sure Terrence gonna be there? You sure he gonna be there too? So I got y'all, man. I told you I got y'all.
Come
Clint,
on.
what's up, man? We got another special guest as well, Mr. Clint Goss, NFL Draft Dome.
Yeah,
Clint,
thanks for
what's up,
having me
man?
again. Glad to be back as always.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
I told you, man. When Terrence was gonna be in the house, I had you, man. I had you because I know you got some questions because you gave us some great info, some background on Terrence last week, and we appreciated that. Terrence heard that and he was thankful for it, man. So you get to talk to him personally tonight.
You're right.
Chris, what's up, man? Talk to me.
Hey man, one thing about it, like I've always said, I appreciate this gentleman right below me. I'm glad to have him on the show. This is a beautiful moment for me. This is really taking me all the way back, honestly, to my childhood right now. Just thinking about like seeing that 81 run out there on that field. So I'm greatly appreciative for you taking out the time out your busy schedule, being a head coach like you are. But I still appreciate that. So welcome to the show, Mr. Terance Mathis.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a
Now,
pleasure to be here, man. Listen, uh, what you guys said last week touched me, and I had to reach out to my dude and say, "Hey, man, thank you." Uh, I was humbled by it. I got emotional by it. Um, and then I just turned 59 Sunday.
Sunday,
So
yeah.
Yep.
yeah,
Everybody else.
so all that, you look back and you reflect on your life and the things that you have done, and then when you get your flowers when you're still alive, it means a lot more. Does that make
Facts.
sense?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
200%.
yeah,
But before we get started, I'm gonna let Chris throw out the first question because Chris, man, Chris said, man, when he sent me that text message, he was like, "Oh, I don't even know how to act, man. I don't even know how to act." But
Man,
I got
I
I got to
that
also thank you, Terrence, because you've been rocking with me for about 5 years now, and you were
yeah,
one of my very first guests. So
yeah.
I got to be thankful for that as well, man. But again, Chris, this is for you, man. So you gonna get it started, and then we'll go to Clint with the questions after that.
man,
So take us away.
it's like I don't know where to even begin, but I guess we have to kind of go a little bit back to the beginning and just talk about it's in the days of your playing time. But I want to kind of mix it with what you're doing now. Can you tell us how different it is being a player, understanding the verbiage as a player, the difference between that and being a coach and have to pretty much reiterate it to other guys and so they can grasp it and be able to execute on the field. Like how is it so different?
Well, it's different because you have a wealth of knowledge and resources that you want to give, and but you know that uh, the guys that you're giving it to is not on that level. So when I go in to coach, I look at it as a blank canvas. Hey, we're gonna paint this portrait and it's gonna be beautiful, but we got to start with a blank canvas, and then we just A, B, C, D, and just take our time, and I talk plain, and I talk where they can understand, and then I'm have them visualize it, then we'll walk through it, and then we'll talk through it whatsoever, and then they get it quick like that. I think that type of learning, um, you got to have patience for. You it's not as it's not what you know, it's how much do they know, and how much they can
Thanks.
um, understand and contain. And so as I don't coach is the title, teaching is what I do. And and that's what we do. We just teach, man, and we just, got any questions? Okay, let me walk it through you again. Blah 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 blah. It's just like put connecting the dots. I don't go in there with this mm, verbiage and this language and that they go, oh my God, what is that? It's if it's this simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're running a hitch route, it's called a hitch. If you're
Mhm.
running a slant route, it's called a slant. We're not
Right.
changing it up. Dagger, this, oh, no, no, no,
I
no,
got
no,
you.
no, no, no. Why reinvent the wheel, right? I
Don't even
truly
run it.
believe
Yeah,
young
right.
men play faster if they know what they're doing and they're confident in what they're doing, and they go out and play fast for you.
Facts.
Love it. Simplicity. That's what it sounds like to
Yeah,
me.
that's what it's about. That's what it's about. Clint, you got it.
Yeah, Terrence, you mentioned during that coach is the title, but teaching is what you do. You talk about the simplicity with the young guys coming from Roswell here, and I know that's where so much of your coaching experience prior to Morehouse is. One was going to ask how foundational that high school coaching experience was translating to the college game, and two, how translatable it was in terms of you kind of segued me there in terms of just simple, not reinventing the wheel, even leveling up as former player in the NFL, having the background in high school coaching, and then ultimately coaching at the college ranks.
Hmm. Well, I think high school prepared me because of the fact that, um, especially when I was at Pinecrest, where I was the head coach and pretty much had to do everything from equipment guy to everything. And then as I went on and to be an assistant at Blessed Trinity and the other school, we it was one of those things that uh I was under a good coach, Tim McFarland, and just watching him as a head coach and how he ran his program whatsoever, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about young people. I learned about how to put together a staff. And then the transition to uh, college uh, as a head coach, um, I went in there with my hair. Before I got there, I had hair. And I'm just joking, but I went there blaze on fire. I went there on fire. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. This is how we're gonna do it. I got the great plan. I got everything set. I had my coach's book. I had my playbook. I had policies and procedures. This and that. And I was like, this is how we're gonna do it. And boom, boom, boom. And bam. That first year was. I found myself that first year, um, after game five,
Mhm.
a shell of myself.
Really?
Wow.
The and I just watched and I didn't say much. I was still motivating the young people whatsoever, but I was surrounded. I wasn't comfortable with the environment that I put myself into or allowed to be around me. And it was hard. That first year was hard. And then the second year made some changes and I got comfortable again. I felt good again. I revised again, and you know what? Uh, First, you listen. To everybody, this is how we do it. This is how we always did it. Blah, blah, blah. This is the way. This is the culture. Blah blah boom 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 boom. And my biggest thing is when I go into a culture, right? Uh, and if the culture is great and we're successful and the culture has been successful, I'm gonna ride
Mhm.
that wave and try to make it better. Okay. But if there's a history of not success, I can't get involved with that culture, right? Because that means you're gonna continue to do the same things thinking things are gonna get better, which is called
Right.
insanity. And
Insanity.
Right.
and so I stayed away from the culture part of it. I never said, hey, I'm changing the culture. What I said, we creating a new environment. And
Yeah.
and culture is going to be there, but environments is different. In a culture, it's what it is. Uh, this is what comes out of it. And when you come into part of it, you gotta you know, gel into the culture. But environment, what takes an environment to grow is just like grass. When you plant the seed, well, you gotta till the soil, plant the seed, water it, and the sunlight, right? And then that's how you change the environment, right? So it
Agreed.
it's it has to grow that way. You gotta till the soil first and plant the seed with the players when you're recruiting whatsoever, and then you add the sunlight the second year when you go out and get some dudes which we did. And then the third year, what you do is, and this was my philosophy. The third year was what you do is, when you start getting fertile ground and the harvest starts to grow, there starts to become some weeds that come up, right? And you
Yep.
Right.
you got to pull those weeds. You got to pull those weeds out of it. It could be coaching, it could be administration, it could be personnel, it could be players, whatever it is. So you got to start weeding that out. So now the harvest can grow. I didn't get a chance to get to that weeding out period where we were starting to reap reap a harvest. And um, it was, you know, going back to your question, I wasn't prepared for that. Uh, I grew from that. Um, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about people. Um, but one thing never changed was the vision. And the vision
Yep.
is to grow young men to be the best that they can be, um, not only on the football field, but in the classroom, in their communities, in society. And then secondly, win a championship, right? Win a
Yeah.
championship. The vision hasn't changed. I always visualize me holding that championship trophy. I don't care if it's a high school state championship, if it's a college conference championship, whatever it may be. I still have that vision, and I still have that drive and hunger to do that. Um, you know, uh, some guys, I can talk all night. So here's the
Oh,
thing.
I know.
We
For
can
for
listen.
Hey.
for
We can
see
listen.
see see for me, the transition, now we're talking about transition from high school to college. Now the transition, I went from college back to high school. So after my contract didn't get extended, right? I sat on the couch for about 3 days and just trying to, mm,
Wrap your head around
I
it.
don't,
Yeah.
I don't, all it was and I didn't get it, and I couldn't figure it out. So um, I said, okay, I'm gonna try to get back. I started sending my resume out, letters out to openings in the college ranks, whatsoever. Kept getting passed up. I was too late to get there because it was already they had their finalists and this and that. So then I said, well, I'm gonna go to the combine, the NFL combine. I'm gonna get back into the circuit whatsoever. Try to get back, try to get in and be a receiver coach or analyst whatsoever. It was good. It was fruitful. So then I got back home and 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 before I left, Athens Christian called me and I says, give me about 10 or 14 days and I'll make a decision for you. So on about the 10th day, I was sitting on the couch and you know me, I am a man of faith. I
Oh
was
yeah,
sitting on
no
the
doubt.
couch. I was sitting on the couch and these words hit me. It's okay to pass up what you think you're supposed to be to go backwards and
Facts.
be at peace and happy. And don't be no embarrassment. Don't be ashamed of it. And no, you still doing what you want to do and what I want you to do. And so uh on that 14th day, I I called him and called the AD and said I'd take the job. And this is the first job I had taken. I didn't know anybody when I got there. And so for the first 3 or 4 days, I kept saying, Lord, why are you sending me here? And then it was clear to me. I was at peace, man. I needed some peace. I need to just get away and just go back to the roots of just, the essence and the innocence of high school football and be in a place where I can confess and profess my faith and not be criticized for it. And then at the
Right.
same time have a group of young men that just want to learn and it's a blank canvas, blank
Yep.
canvas,
Still absorbing
and
knowledge.
um, and it's just I got a great staff, and it's been wonderful, man. And people say you drive all the way from your house to Athens. It's about an hour and 20, right?
Yeah.
And it's the most peaceful drive that I ever have going and coming back. There's no traffic, and I
That's
tell
where my
people it
mother
takes me an
lives. I'm
hour.
very familiar, man.
Yeah,
Like I said, coming
and
from Roswell, you're right. It
yeah,
is a very pleasant drive. I have two
yeah,
young children, and I get a lot of good
yeah.
quiet on that drive to
Yeah,
Athens.
and I tell them, I say it takes me an hour and 20 to get from my house to Atlanta in traffic.
Yep.
I'm stressed before I even go in the front door of my office. So, but I know I went off on a tangent, but
That's all
here's
good.
the reason why I had to get that out is because of the fact that um, since December, I don't do this much anymore, because of the fact that uh, I didn't want to at the time answer certain questions or say certain things because I wasn't ready to. Uh, let me put it this way: my flesh wasn't mature enough to handle it where I can keep my mouth closed.
Hey, but the crazy thing about it, that's you. That's the Terrence I know. That's not
Right,
as afraid to speak his mind.
right,
That's you.
right,
That's who
right,
you've always been.
right,
Ever
right,
since I've known you. But
right.
let's switch it over to the NFL just a little bit and
Okay.
get to the wide receiver unit, which is the main reason why I it came in my mind that I want you to talk about it because Drake London just got paid
Mhm.
4 years, 150 million, worth up to 150 million. And he's going into his fifth year now, and he missed
Hmm.
5 games due to a bad PCL sprain.
Hmm.
Um, how do you feel like paying him helps him and his confidence and helps this wide receiver room as a whole? See,
it, it,
I'm gonna get the facts. Go ahead.
it's either gonna go one or two ways.
Go ahead.
It's gonna go one or two ways. Either you're gonna sit down like a fat cat, or you're gonna rise and say, I'm worth every penny of it. It's gonna either go one or two ways. It ain't no gray, there's no gray. It can't be okay now, right? So right now, what the franchise have told you is that you are arguably one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. That's what the franchise have told you. So
Pretty much.
my mindset would be, oh my God, everyone's looking at me. So I'm gonna work my tail off. I'm gonna work my tail off. I'm gonna work so hard that coach gonna say, hey man, take a day off. And I'm gonna say no, because I have something to prove. Right? Or you can do the other one. Hey, I'm getting paid anyway. Look, I'm, I ain't gonna play 17 games. Oh shoot, my toe hurt. I think I'm gonna miss the next 3 games or so. It could go either way. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not saying he would do that, but we
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
seen in the past where players across the league get paid a whole lot of money and then they just disappear. Right? They
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
disappear. And I think
Facts.
that I think that uh, the only way Drake London disappears if he doesn't get help on the other side or at the tight end position, or if the quarterback is efficient. That's the only way he gets lost.
So do you think Kyle Pitts is he's a legitimate, number two target, not just a
Yeah.
tight end,
I,
not just a receiver, but a target. Period.
I think he is. I think he found his confidence last year.
Okay.
He showed me some things in the second half of the season. Uh, Whatsoever. He looked more confident and more comfortable than he ever
Mhm.
been. We know that Stefanski loves the tight end position, and wherever he's been, his tight end has been to the Pro Bowl or that sort of caliber guy. So I think he's in a good situation where he can thrive, right? And again, you know, I'm looking at Drake's contract and said, I'm gonna ball my butt off because I want that contract, right?
Right.
So
Right.
there's a lot of things in his favor right now, and I can see him, already. If you look at it, if you look at all the tight ends in the league, he's still one of the best, right? Still probably top 8, whatsoever. So, you know, like I said, the only downer that you have is for him is if they don't if they don't feature him and if the quarterback isn't consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what
Right.
I've been saying.
I
Chris.
know back in '94 when your breakout season when you came with the Atlanta Falcons, now I'm big on opportunity, big on
Right,
oppo. So,
right,
and I feel like when you was able to get away from the New York Jets, not slighting that franchise at all,
right,
but it just
right,
seems like you was able to have more opportunity
right,
in Atlanta. So, in
right.
your words, tell me what clicked for you instantly in Atlanta after your years with the Jets.
My 4 years with the Jets was like uh college 2.0. I was learning the game. I was
Gotcha.
getting stronger. I was getting bigger. I was getting faster. And I was getting knowledge from guys like James Hasty and Ronnie Lott. And I played with Ken O'Brien and all these guys. And I had Al Toon. So I was learning and I was learning and I was learning and I was learning. And then I took and then every day in practice was my game day. When I say it was my game day, I came to practice. I was on scout team, and my job was to beat the crap out of James Hasty, especially when we were getting ready to play the Dolphins. I played Mark Duper and Mark
Man,
Clayton, and he guarded me every day that week. He guarded me every day that week, even in one-on-ones, and we got into a fight.
Mm.
So, and everybody said, "That's your dude." I said, "I know, but I ain't gonna let him hold me all day."
Oh
And
yeah.
and we still love each other today. But just the knowledge that I received and um, playing with Ronnie Lott that last year, that fourth year I was in New York, and
right.
him taking me up under his wing, taking me to dinner, and always talking to me and giving me stuff to be successful, to become a pro. So then when I came here to Atlanta, funny story. I remember we were it was right after I think it was right after the second preseason game, and I wasn't starting. And Miles Davis was the offensive coordinator,
I
and we
remember
was
him.
in practice, and I had a good practice, and he's like, "Kid, good practice," this and that. So we walking off the field, and I put my arm around him. I say, "Miles, I know y'all didn't pay me all this money to be a backup." And then I started that third preseason game against the Bills and went off. And then after that, it was like, okay, I became a starter, and then history was set that season. And it was a remarkable season. I was ready for it. But then when you have a guy on the other side or playing next to you, like a Andre Rison, you can't help but get better, right? Because
Yep.
at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, when he gets double teamed, somebody got to take the pressure off of him, right?
Fact.
And that was my job. And then when I get double teamed, he does his thing. And so we complemented each other very well that year. And it was just that I got the more catches, the more yards, and more touchdowns, and went to the Pro Bowl.
Yes, sir. 111 catches, if I'm not mistaken, and a Pro
Yep.
Bowl. So yes,
Yep.
absolutely beautiful, man. Again, and that's the guy I'm talking about. That's
Right.
the type of play that kind of got me to be a fan. Of course, I knew about Bad Moon, but
Right.
it was just something about that 81 and just how he used to glide down that field, man.
Yep.
Well, uh, I took pride in what I did, and what I was doing. I didn't talk trash. I didn't believe in that. I was flashy at times because that was my trash talking when I would dance in the end zone or something like that.
Yeah.
But man, at the end of the day, it's a team sport, but you have to beat the man in front of you, right?
Mhm.
And one of my things was this: I would hate on Monday. They're sitting in a meeting and they all high-fiving and say, "Oh, we stopped 81. We stopped Mathis. We did what we said we wanted to do." But no, 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 no. That didn't happen often. I know that coach was turning over tables. I told you, and that's what and that's how I played. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I I just didn't want to be embarrassed. I- It was I was knowledgeable and I was prepared, but at the same time, I was scared to be embarrassed. So I played my butt off. Even if I dropped the ball, it didn't matter to me because I said, "Dang, I'm gonna come back and drop and catch three more." So I was embarrassed when I dropped the ball. I was embarrassed when I got covered. It was just embarrassing to me. That's how much pride I took into my job.
That's what I'm talking about. Clint.
You mentioned with Drake some of the quarterback turnover, and you mentioned Ken O'Brien with your time with the Jets, and then coming and playing with Jeff George and Chris Chandler, and how that kind of relates to where we are now with the
Right,
Falcons. And you mentioned
right,
Andre Rice
Yeah.
and coming in and
right,
him being the one, and you having such a
mm,
strong breakout year there as the
right,
two. I'd
right,
say all that to say the position they're in now, Drake, with the quarterbacks he's
hmm,
experienced, all that turnover,
right,
this new receiver room beyond him,
right,
Jahan Dotson, a Zachariah
mm,
Branch,
right,
any kind of initial thoughts you think in terms of those guys for them to kind of be sitting at a spot that you came into, as far as
Right.
there's got to be a breakout 2, there's got to be a
Right.
foundational 3
Right.
Great question.
behind a Drake London,
Right.
where we
Great
stand now, whether it
Right.
be Tua or whether it be Penix this season.
Right. The only way that happens is in practice. You got to compete against number one. You want everybody to say, ooh, ah, and in the meeting room, good job, great job, right? You want to be the focal point. You want to be one, right? That's how you got to think about it. You can't think about it, oh, Drake's number one. I'm gonna be Robin to the Batman. You can't think that way as a number two. You got to think that I'm number one, right?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna do everything to be number one. You're gonna be competitive. It's a team sport, but I want more catches, more yards, more touchdowns than number one, right? And if I do that, it's helping us win football games, right? It's not being selfish. Even in practice, I tell you, me and Tony Martin every day competed against each other in that 98 season. Every day we competed against each other and we were on the same side. That was crazy. So we'll go
Yeah.
in the meeting rooms and we'll put money on the table and we'll go over the film and the other receivers critique it and grade us. And whoever came out the highest grade got the money. And that's how we practice. I'm talking about practice. I ain't even talking about, we did that every day, every single day. Because if y'all really think about it, I have never been number one since I've been in the Falcons. Every year they bring somebody in to be number one, and I was
Yeah.
always that guy. But then at the end of the day, that fueled me because I kept saying, "Oh, you don't think I'm a one? Let me show you that
Right.
I'm that dude." So I truly think that the 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 mindset of these young guys is, yeah, he gets paid all the money. He's that dude. He's the number one in the progression. But I'm trying to be that dude at number one in the progression. I'm gonna help him out. I'm gonna love on him whatsoever, but I'm gonna compete against him every day to show the organization, to show my quarterback that I'm reliable too.
Facts.
Okay.
I just want
Quick
to.
story before we go on. Quick
Okay.
story.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And
Go ahead.
this is one that you will understand. So that year, we go to Los Angeles. We get ready to play the Raiders. Right to the bus. So he gets sit down for the first half. I think it was whatsoever. So we get in the huddle and players call catch, make a few guys miss, get first down. And George, I get in the huddle. Jeff George hits me on the helmet. He says, "You my dude. I'm coming to you every play." That's when the switch happened. That's when everything started clicking with me and Jeff because I was there reliable for him. All quarterbacks want you to do is be a reliable source for them. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not getting open catching balls, he can't get paid the 120, 200 million that he's getting paid. Right.
Right. Right.
So I had relationships with all quarterbacks, and the relationship is almost got to be a give and take. Well, if I don't get open, if I drop a ball, hey man, that's on me. Chris throws a ball in the ground, he throws an interception behind my head, whatever it is. He said, "I owe you one." And we played like that, and that's the kind of camaraderie you have to have with your quarterback. It can't be if he throw the ball over your head on third down, you look at him off the field and going, "Oh man," you can't do that to your quarterback. You can't, and the quarterback can't say, "What are you doing?" You can't do that. Now it's like tension, and
Right.
you got to be like, "Hey man, my fault. I owe you one. My bad. I owe you one." And and that's how you have a relationship with a quarterback, no matter which one he is.
I love it.
Agreed. And correct me if I'm wrong. Is that the game where he had about 20, 21 completions and you caught 12 of those balls?
That
Is that the game you were talking about where I think he had about 20 completions and I think you had
you
like 12 catches.
you're thinking about the Pittsburgh Monday night game with Chris Chandler.
Right.
That
Right.
was
Right. Right.
another instance. Chris came off of injuries. Right, he was sat out for 2 games. So he threw a ball to me. I got down and caught it, and he said, he said to me, "I'm gonna throw every pass to you." Like you said, he completed like 21, and I caught 13 of them.
See?
Right.
It happens when you in the zone.
It,
You in the zone.
it is in the zone. So
But speaking of in the zone, new regime, new offensive staff, and new coach. Alex Van Pelt, one of my favorite hires this all season for the quarterbacks. Tua Tagovailoa and Mike Penix are battling, and even though he said he's got to get healthy, which is true. How do you think they will come to a conclusion on how they're going to pick their quarterback one going into week one of the regular season?
first, this football team is only going to be as good as its coaching staff.
Agreed.
This team is loaded with talent on both sides of the ball, and you just can't mess it up. You cannot mess it up. You have been given a key to a Maserati. Don't crash it. Don't crash it.
Yeah.
So, and far as the quarterback job whatsoever, here's the thing: you can, if it was me, right? Penix coming off of surgery. He's about to get okay to go 11 on 11 whatsoever, but I'm still worried that he's not fully healthy. See what I'm saying? Are we going
Yeah.
to are we going to try to move this competition so fast that it's going to hurt him, or should we just wait? Right?
Yeah.
I
Right.
think I I think you need to name a starter after the mini camp. You got to name a starter after the mini camp because now the mindset has to change with the team and everything. Who we gonna rally around? If you
Agreed.
carry this thing all the way to training camp, it's too late. It's way too late. It's
And I
way
think
too
then it'll
late.
become a distraction by
It
then.
it
I
becomes
think.
it becomes a
Yeah.
distraction because now the news media, the players, all they doing is watching a quarterback battle, and they not being successful in what they do with their positions because it's
Agreed.
all about the quarterback battle. You got to name one.
Right.
You got to name one way before training camp starts. You got to name a quarterback. Uh, I don't care if you. Oh, it's a battle. It's a battle. Trust me, they know who they want to be, who they want to start first day. They know.
Yeah. Yeah. They
Come on,
know.
man. We
We've
talking
said
about $1 billion industry, and you
Yes.
don't know who the CEO of your football product is yet. Come on, man.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Come
No,
on.
that's definitely true. I will
Yeah.
say this too. Like, I want to ask you now. I'm going back again
Okay.
because you were one of, I believe you were the 8th player in NFL history to get those 100 catches in a single season. But you did it in an era that wasn't pass friendly to the rules. It was some physicality to it. I
Right.
want to know how many catches you think you would get in today's era.
Boy.
Yeah.
That is a good question.
Wow.
What is the record now?
Ooh,
130 or something like that?
149.
yeah. I think that was Marv.
149?
I think
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
Mike Thomas. Yeah.
yeah,
Mike Thomas.
149. Oh yeah, probably 160.
easy, huh?
Think about this, man. And you talked about it, the physicality of when we played whatsoever.
Right.
There was no 5 yard rule.
Nope.
There was no not tugging of the jersey or whatever you had to do and climbing. There was or hitting of a defenseless player. There was none of that when I played.
Right.
So once I get 5 yards past you, I'm running free. And then when I catch the ball, I know you're not going to hit me above my chest area. I'm having a field day. Come on, man. You, dude, I played between the numbers, and you can't touch me.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And I'm not. This not even being arrogant or cocky or whatsoever. I just know, um, and times change, and it changed for the best. But I know is the way we play the game. Um, we would thrive in today's game, right? We would thrive in today's game, and that's how you kind of pick your generational players and your Hall of Famers. Could they have played in certain eras, right? And you go all the way back to the '60s and bring it all the way back to today. If you say that guy could have played in every era, he's a Hall of Famer. But if you can
Yeah.
stop and say,
I don't know.
I don't
Yeah.
know, right? Because we're talking about the greatest who ever played the game when you talk about Hall of Famers. right? That's what
Right.
we're
Yeah.
talking about. We're
Yeah.
not talking about what you did in your 10-year stint or your 12-year stint. We're talking about would it have translated into the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
2000s, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking
Right.
about, right? So, so the Jim Browns, the Barry Sanders, you know, those type of guys could have played in any era. Gail Sayers, any era, you know,
Right.
and there's a ton of others could have played in any era. But at the end of the day, man, dude, I would have loved to play today's game. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know if I can go back and be my 28-year-old self and play in today's game. I think I'll have a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
I
A lot
can
of fun.
definitely believe it.
Yeah.
Clint,
Yeah. I get it. And you talked about playing in between the numbers. You had to go up against guys like Scott Case, Chuck
Oof.
Cecil, running line,
Oof.
guy that would knock
Mm.
your head off.
Oof.
So
knock you. Wow.
Andre Dirty Waters. That's how far I go back.
right, Andre Ward, yeah, Eagles, right,
Hmm.
correct. Yeah. So yeah.
I
But
was
Clint,
just going to follow it up by saying, having said all that about what you think you could have done now and the difference of the league when you played before really the passing revolution, not to sound too pat on the backy, but we don't get to this point without players
Right.
such as yourself and that
Absolutely.
play
Right.
getting to where we are now. And I'd
Right.
also add to the volume, just kind of refreshing myself before the episode. We've talked so much about your NFL time. Heck, man, you go to New Mexico. This is the first collegiate player with 250 catches and 4,000 receiving yards
Yeah.
Here.
wow.
in that era. So I say that just to further pat that for that to have happened in that era, even of college football,
Right.
there's no telling what that could have been now in this era of college football.
Right.
And I
Right.
know that's not a question; that's more of a
Yeah.
comment.
I
But it really
I
was
get
something.
it. I get it. But uh I played when I played and I had an enjoyable time and I wouldn't do anything different. Um, sometimes I wish I could have played a couple of more years because the only way I wanted to play a couple more years is because I wanted a Super Bowl ring. I wanted a Super Bowl championship. It wasn't about the money, it wasn't about the fame, all that stuff. I just wanted to go win a championship. And uh, that's the biggest thing that I feel that I left on the table in the NFL, even though I got a chance to play there. And I was one of, I think it's like one of 245 people have ever scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Uh, I'm privileged that way, but it still got a bad taste in your mouth that you didn't get a chance to get a championship. But hey, nobody remembers second place.
Yeah. Yeah. That
You
is
know,
that's what's said. Smitty, what you got?
My final question, and it's containing to rookies, and to see all these rookies, doing a lot of off the field activity that we don't like to talk about, but they get into trouble anyway. If you
mhm,
had to tell a young rookie such as a Zachariah Branch, such as anyone that was drafted in the 2026 draft class,
mhm.
what advice would you give them as going to being a professional football player?
I love that.
Take care of your business. You have the rest of your life to party, to travel, to spend money. Take care of your business first. You retire at 32 years old. You got the rest of your life to do whatever you want to do. You ain't gonna miss nothing. You
Nope.
ain't gonna miss nothing. The same stuff gonna be still there 10 years from now. Just take care of your business, take care of your finances, take care of your family, take care of your children, and then, hey man, look, you want to party afterwards? Throw yourself a big birthday party. Invite everybody. Rent a big hall or something like that, and have a good time. But you know, hey man, take care of your business. Don't be that guy to leave this game and have nothing. and
Yeah.
and holding on to keeping it real, keeping it 100. Oh, I'm lit and all that. Dude, what is that? What is that? That don't mean anything. That don't mean anything to a CEO at a bank. Don't mean anything. A CEO at Nike. mean it's at Coca-Cola. See, it don't mean nothing to the owner of an NFL franchise.
Right.
Come on, man. Don't be part of the crowd. Be different. It's okay to be on the island by yourself sometimes. It's okay. Come on, dude. I'm serious, man. It hurts me when I see what happens because you you have this dream as a little kid, and then when you get there, you think that's it. I made it. So I made it. Look, I made it. Do this. It's not over when after you make it. It's not
Mhm.
over. The vision has still is still there. Your vision, your vision was to play in the NFL, be the greatest to ever play, and win a championship. If your vision was just to get to the NFL, you're not gonna last long. You're not gonna
Yeah.
last long. I mean,
Agreed.
good gracious, man. I don't understand it. I love the game so much. I respect the game so much that uh I just want these young men to respect it, respect the game, do what you're supposed to do. I'm not saying be at a company, man, but at the end of the day, dude, that company is paying you millions of dollars,
Yeah.
right? You
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
to how, tell me what 20, 21, 22 year old leave college and make millions of dollars right away. What profession does that?
Not many.
Come on. Come on, man.
Not many at all.
You are one
Not many.
of
I looked like I was
millions.
living out of my car at that age, man.
Wow. Right? Think about that, man. Think about that. It's incredible. It's incredible. But you know, um, it is just what I'm not gonna say it is what it is because it doesn't have to be.
Right.
Right.
It don't have to be.
It don't have to
Well,
be.
well, I have just actually two questions, but they're going to be quick. First
Okay.
question I have is, I'm just saying.
I
First
know.
question
Go
I have,
ahead.
I want to know because I know you're a man of faith as well. So I want to
Hmm.
know how important was it to you? I know about the Dirty Bird Super Bowl
Hmm.
run.
Hmm.
How did it feel about being named Man of the Year?
Ah, uh,
Good question.
that's a really good question. I was caught off guard. Um, Here's the thing about me when I was doing that year. Um, what happens when you get to the league whatsoever, they have the community service piece, right? And
Mhm.
then they have all these things that you can do in community service, and you sign up for it whatsoever, and then they tell you where to go and all these things, right? And I felt that wasn't genuine for me, right? So what I did was I said I'm gonna start me a foundation, and I'm gonna start doing things in the community um, that I feel that will be right. I mean, we've closed down restaurants and did breakfast with Santa, and that was one of the. I always go back to that event because that was one of the most heartwarming things. We did it with V103 and Frank Ski, and what we did was we invited these groups in the city of Atlanta, and we got this is honest to God truth. We got the wish list of all these kids that was coming to have breakfast with Santa. And then we took one of the back rooms, set Santa up. They came on and they told their names and said, "Hi, we." And Santa said, "I got your gift for you," and went over and got the gift. And the eyes was like, "How'd you know? How'd you know?" That was crazy. Here's the crazy thing: uh, uh, a wife called up to the station and said, "My husband needs a remote wheelchair to get around. His is not working, it's broken." We get there, they come, and he goes in, and there's a brand new wheelchair, man. People were donating stuff out. It was just incredible. Incredible, man. Then from the golf events whatsoever. And there's other things that where people don't know is that if I hear anything on the streets, anything, I said, well, I gotta go. And my wife was like, "You will give your shirt off your back if you can." I said, "I surely will." Um, I remember listening to someone on the radio station, and she was crying about getting put out of her house, blah 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 blah. I called the radio station. I said I need her name, her address, and everything. Uh, Paid her rent for the rest of the year, so her and her family could stay there. Uh, and some of the stuff started getting out and getting back to the Falcons, and then got to the league. I remember uh, Taglerbue. He came to one of our practices, and he was
Hmm.
speaking, and he says, "Where's Terance Mathis?" And I stood up. He says, "Come here." He put his arms around me. He said, "What you're doing in this community is what the NFL is about." That same year, I was commissioned by Clinton to go to South Carolina, in one of the poorest areas, and do a football clinic, and I
Wow.
did that. And uh, it's the things that there's many 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 more stories, but uh, and then getting that award just was it was humbling, uh, and I have never stopped giving. I have never stopped caring. Uh, because at the end of the day, uh, my mom told me, she said, when you make it, don't you forget where you came from. And I never did that, and I never will.
Beautiful, beautiful. Second question that I have for you, and it's football related. I just want to know, and it's not Falcons. It's not necessarily Falcons. You
Okay.
don't have to stay there. But I just want to know what guys that you admire in the league today that you just look at and be like, man, that guy does it the right way. That guy, what I'm saying, he's a star, type of guys. Just like what guys, really kind of like, gets the eye of Terance Mathis.
Um, this is crazy. I don't watch football like I used to.
I can
But
understand you're a busy man.
Devontae Adams is a guy I like. I like him a lot. I like his game. I like his route running. But I like what he's about. You know, he's out there in commercials whatsoever. Um, you know, that's one guy that comes off the top of the dome. Um, and he's gonna play a few more years because he's doing things right. He's doing
Right.
things right. He's gonna get blessed for that. At the end of the day, those who care about others will be blessed. So
Love it. Love it. Shout out to Devontae Adams. That's another guy that I like as well.
yeah,
I think the Rams have told you that as well, kind of feeding off of he's got more in the tank than the
yeah,
general consumers and media think.
right,
Them going ahead and getting with Ty Simpson the first round versus some of those
right,
receiver options,
yeah,
similarly to how they're playing in Stafford a little longer. They
hmm
think they've got more in the tank with Adams
yeah.
than
They have more. They have more. And the thing is, he's humbly became a number two, and he's not complaining about it. He's just doing what he's doing, scoring touchdown. All we actually do is score touchdown. I don't care how many catches you have, how many yards you have. We need points. That's what it's all
Facts.
about. That's what it's all.
Facts.
And that's what kills me about the game. Everybody talked about catches and yards, and then they're in single digit touchdowns. I'm like, that makes no sense to me. I wanted to score
Right.
touchdowns. I wanted to score touchdowns, double digits every year. I wanted double digits every year. That's what I wanted, and because if I'm scoring touchdowns, we win in football games, and that's what the
Amen.
mentality has to be.
Hey,
Look,
Yep.
third in franchise history in receiving touchdowns, the likes of Roddy and Julio. You can back that up, what you're saying right here.
and it's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and it's funny. I told you I was going to give you 30 minutes, but y'all got me going.
Hey
Y'all got
man.
my juices going, and I haven't sneezed yet, so I'm good.
See, that's a blessing. When you
Yeah,
when you get it out, everything else gonna fall in place. But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead, Clint.
No, that was all. I was just making that comment, just following him up at this point. I think the only thing that my question I was going to ask was along the lines of what Chris said about somebody in the league. You think you kind of see that. And I know I had a question earlier kind of about relating you to where Zachariah Branch is right now. You talked about, the
Mhm.
man of the year and all the service with that. That's been one of the main snippet quotes after this Drake London extension. It's him saying that
Agreed.
my biggest step up here outside of the play is I've got to become more of the face of this team I got to become more of the face in this community and the involvement there. And, not even knowing if that's a question, but just to say how excited you would be and imagining somebody with his skill level, how he can get to the level of being someone such as yourself, this involved all these years later, that being
Right.
some of your proudest memories. I mean, of all the great discussion we've had, like you said, it was supposed to go 30 minutes. We're running up on 50. The most excited you've looked this entire episode is talking about that Santa moment. Putting himself in a position to be on a show like this years from now,
Right.
and be looking and saying, man, I'm so glad that I did that. I mean, we look at players of recent, going away from receiver. It's like people will be talking about Grady Jarrett for years and what he
Right.
did
Right.
outside of all the
Amen.
great players.
Amen.
He's playing
Right.
in Chicago right now, and they're
Right.
still good from Atlanta. Would
Right.
just say how excited you would be for somebody like Drake and that involvement and him taking that next step, and how much that can influence these younger guys like a Zachariah Branch or some of the others on the team looking at him as a leader on and off the field.
Right.
Well, here's what, if I had to give him any advice about that, is be yourself. Don't let anybody mold you to what they want you to be. Be who you are. Do what you want to do in the community. And don't jump. Hey, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. You should. No. If it doesn't feel good to you, don't do it. God will tell you what's right and what to do. Just ask him.
Amen.
And the thing is, if you want the community to embrace you, you got to go to the community. You have to, and you can't be afraid to go into a restaurant or a store or a gas station, or go down there for events whatsoever, shake hands, this and that, without being told to do it. You got to do it on your own. What event? This event sounds nice. I'm gonna go to this event, right? And go unannounced, because when you
Yeah.
go unannounced, that means you want to be there. But if they say, "Oh, such and such is going to be here, such and such is going to be here," that means somehow they contacted the Falcons and they paid the Falcons a fee for you to come to speak or be a part of the event. Uh, when I played, I didn't like doing that. I just
Just
wanted
show.
to be me, and I just wanted
Yeah.
to go and sit and be with the community, right? And it's funny story. Um, I was doing an event. It was the College Football Hall of Fame golf tournament. And then we had the night before, we had a little dinner. So I was walking down the street, Marietta Street, right? So I crossed the street, and there's a little cigar bar right there. And I said, I'm gonna go get me a cigar. So then I started walking to the cigar bar. And I said, nah, I don't want one. So I turned around, and it was like three gentlemen, three black gentlemen sitting there whatsoever. And as I turned around, they said, Mathis. And I turned around. They said, I thought that was you. And I didn't just wave and say, what's up? Which a lot of us do. I
Right.
went
Yeah.
back and sat with them for 45 minutes and talked.
Yeah.
Because how many times do a fan get a chance to talk to someone they look up to or watched before, and just had a simple
Facts.
conversation with them, right? That's what I
Yeah.
love to do. I would sit down with people and just talk, because at the end of the day, I remember when I didn't meet a professional football player until I became a professional football player. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
So imagine what I was yearning for all those years, And so I would sit and talk, and I would always engage with people. Then I have to tell them, hey, look, it's a pleasure meeting you. I got to run. Hey, y'all stay up.
Yeah. That
You
sound
want
like me
you
when I'm in public. That
Yeah,
sound like me
you
when
want
I'm
to.
in public.
You
Yeah.
have to do it. You have to do it. You you are not better just because you play football and make millions of dollars. You are not going to heaven before that next person.
Facts. Hey, boy, you said a
That don't
mouthful with
put you.
that.
That don't put you in the front of the line.
Woo,
So
boy.
humble yourself. Humble
Boy.
yourself, and be part of the community.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people stop me on the street. We started talking football. He said, I know you got to run. I said, no, say what you got to
Right.
say. I'll give you an answer, and then, we can talk a
Yep.
couple minutes. Then after that, keep moving to the next. But I said I had one more question, but I got to know this. And we talked
Okay.
about it a little bit before we jumped on. Um, we always talk about culture in today's sports, and what it means to a lot of cities and a lot of teams. But the culture that the '98 Falcons and the Dirty Bird squad that went to Miami Super Bowl team, how do you feel like that set up the future in Atlanta? Because I know it had a big factor in what's going on right now. Because after y'all went to the Super Bowl, changed ownership, Mike Vick is drafted, and so on and so on. But that to me was the starting point of the city and the culture. He tapped out for a minute. He was hoping he can come back in.
I'll tell you why we're waiting on him. One interesting thing, that last question, talking about Drake London, how it related to him, we really forget that dude is 24 years old.
Yes, it is.
In terms of
Still young.
the potential and the power, and I say that positively, for all the good he can do. It's like we got college players that are 24 years old nowadays, and this man just got the bag upon the bag and is sitting here going into a fifth-year option kind of year. It's really a marvel for him to be at this point, and what can come as far as good with him.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about it, Kyle Pitts is still on 24 as well. Mm-hmm. So you got two young receivers, not even 25, haven't even really reached their prime yet. And then that's crazy to say. And you can lock both of them up long term.
Yeah, and I know StreamYard been StreamYarding the whole time, just off and on, just being the hater that it is. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, if he can't come back in, we done got more than enough.
We got way more than we was bargaining for. There we go.
Okay, there we go. Let's get this last question in there.
That's what happens when my wife calling me and she's like, "See, I told y'all I had to be off the phone."
Hey, what did I say in the beginning?
But
22,
I think
23 years. I know. Trust me.
I think what jump started the culture was continued to jump start the culture was Michael Vick, and that era really got the city involved and got them going whatsoever. And then it just started building. When I walk into that stadium, it's like being at a college football game. Those fans are incredible, man. Incredible. So, I think I want to end this by saying this. I always make a prediction on what I think the Falcons are going to be. Last year, I made a prediction that they will win the division and go into the playoffs. I'm not going to make that. I'm not going to say that. Say something so boldly. I said it earlier. The Falcons are only as good as their coaching staff. I'm just going to leave it at that.
You said it before. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm going to leave it at that. They're as good as the coaches that's going to teach them how to win football games and put them in the right places to be successful. That's basically it.
Yeah. But we hate to come to the end because we can talk all night and we've had some great conversation over the years. But I gotta thank you for coming through. I know you're under the weather. I know you're a little bit under the weather, man, and I hope you pray you get well soon. Tell the wife we said thank you for letting us borrow you for a minute, because I know when I'm sick, my wife ain't gonna let me even walk outside the room. So I get it. But again, thank you, man. We will definitely have you back on towards the end of the year, probably when football season is over. Have you come back through and give us your thoughts on the season, how it's went so far. But again, man, thank you. I can't thank you enough. And we wish you much continued success in your coaching endeavors, because we know you're gonna knock it out the park.
Let's do that, man. I appreciate you guys. When you call me, I'm gonna answer. I know. And if I have something to say, I'm gonna say put me on. If I don't have anything to say, I'm gonna say, well, man, not now. You know me. I'm gonna be real with you. Look, man, Clint, it was a pleasure to get to meet you. Thank you for all the kind things that you've said. Chris, hey man, It's been an
Thank you.
honor to be that guy that you said you looked up to. Is an honor to me. It's an honor to me. And Smitty, you just Smitty. Cool down, whole, true to the facts, tell the truth, tell it like it is. Now, look, I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. And
I
No doubt.
receive.
God be
I
with you.
receive.
I receive it, my brother. Appreciate it. And again, man, we thank you, and we will talk to you very soon. I will definitely call and check on you in the next couple of days.
Oh yeah. Man.
Oh boy, what an interview! Man! Thank you, boy. I mean, he's all man. Look,
Bro, that was Terance Mathis. You
I feel
understand
cool
me?
as hell that he was talking about how I went just off last week when y'all had me on about him, how he should be in the Ring of Honor, and he was saying about how he heard that. I was like, damn, man, that's cool as shit.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. That again, I know there was Andre Rison. I know again all those guys, but I'm telling you, but he talked about it. He was a number 2, but he went into it like a number 1 and ended up outdoing the number 1. And every time they would try to put in somebody else, Terance Mathis would shine. That's that type of mindset, Eric, you need to have. You just got to have it, man. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm as giddy as a kid. That just brought back so much.
Yeah.
I'm saying just I'm talking about my little childhood. I'm barely able to comprehend what's going on. All I know is guys running back and forth, but I remember that 81. I always remember that 81. And then my dad, God rest his soul, he always would big up Terance Mathis. Even when he went to the Steelers, because that was my dad's team, he was like, we got the Falcons, boy. You know what I'm saying? We got the Falcons guy. We got him up here, but at the same, yeah, man. I'm just happy, man. I'm happy. This is when they talk about peaceful and see how he talking about finding peace. That's what we talking about here. You know, you got to find
talk about that all the time. Yeah, all the time. Yeah,
I mean, one of the coolest parts of that, and we discussed it so much already, was the translatability from his experience in Atlanta throughout the years to kind of where we are now. You know, he's talking about Mike Vick and keeping the culture going over and over. And we got Matt Ryan as the president of this team. We're talking about him as a number 2 coming in with the mindset of a number 1 and supporting someone who's had that huge payday in an Andre Rice. And we talk about that with Drake just getting paid. You look at the size profile, plus or minus about 5 pounds. It's where Zachariah Branch is right now going into this.
Right.
It really is. You're talking about a 3rd-round pick, a 6th-round pick, 5'9", 5'10", 170, 175 pounder, big college background, playmaking ability. A security blanket for a quarterback. The turnover of quarterbacks he played with, Ken O'Brien, Jeff George, Chris Chandler, and what we've had say with Drake, for example, these Kirk and Penix, et cetera. That is both exciting and comfortable to kind of relate to and see the potential here.
Similar makeup with the team, man.
Absolutely.
Journeyman quarterback, Chris Chandler back then in '98. You get Tua coming over from Miami, not strong of an arm, but they know how to manage the game and they know how to make key throws.
The gunslinger and Penix and Jeff George. I mean, Jeff George could throw it, could rip it as good as anybody. I mean, it just
70-yard flat-footed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 70-yard flat-footed. Rocket. So I mean, look. Whew, another great show, man. I mean, I really enjoyed that interview, and it's crazy because, like I said, he's been rocking with me about 5 or 6 years. So I've talked to him on the phone. We had great conversation, and man, look, whew. So you learn something new every day. But if y'all got anything that y'all want to get off y'all chest before we get out of here, feel free to do so.
No, I'm getting one of those wife calls right now telling me that the 18-month-old's hollering. So I'm probably about to get up there.
Oh, Lord. Do your thing, man. I've been there before.
Hey,
but tell everybody where to find you before you get out of here.
Yeah, you can. Twitter is easiest place, one-stop shop. My namesake Clint Goss are at NFL Draft Dome. Hell, I've been on here 5 or 6 times, and thank y'all again for it. This was a great
No doubt.
opportunity tonight. Always like coming on.
Sure.
So that'd be the easiest way to do it. Again, thanks for having me. Look forward to coming back.
Oh yeah.
No doubt. Clint, we appreciate you, man. We know you got to go, and we will talk to you soon, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Oh man, Terance freaking Mathis. That's all I really got to say about that. But hey, find your peace today, man. Right? Positive energy always creates elevation. That's how you find your peace. And I know we tried to get Carlos Allen Jr. on here, but he's trying to make sure he's making this 53, trying to make this a Falcons team. So sometimes guys are busy.
We run across it again. It'll happen. If God meant for it to happen, it's gonna happen.
Right.
Trust me.
Guess what? Instead of Carlos, we got Terance on for you guys. So at the end of the day, thank you, Miss Carey.
Thank you, Miss Carey. Appreciate you.
And everything. But yeah, man. So again, like I said, find your peace today. Positive energy always creates elevation. Don't settle for less, because you always can have more with the vision. And hey, man, again, you can find me A1 Forever Sports, Falcons Digest, Hawks Digest, and Twitter A1 Forever, Instagram A1 Forever, and the real A1 Forever on TikTok. Y'all make sure y'all be safe out there. I said it's on Tuesday night. Y'all be safe, and we will see y'all in a minute. Smitty, let them know where you at.
Hey, man, they know where to find me on Twitter at fatboyslim_21. I'm always over there blowing that thing up, because that's what I do. And I'm always on the sports machine, giving y'all the latest, greatest news in Atlanta sports, mainly the Atlanta Falcons. And I give my thoughts on other topics too as well. But I do want to say again, man, like I said the other night, rest in peace to Hank Dorsey. I can't stress this enough, man. He was a big supporter of the sports machine. From when I had like 5 subs, he was one of the first one, and we always communicated on Twitter. So Hank, rest in peace. Please keep looking over us, and when we make that Super Bowl, man, we know you're gonna be up there dancing when we win that Super Bowl, man. So Hank, thank you for being a loyal Falcon fan, and thank you for supporting the sports machine. I truly always will appreciate you, my brother. Whew, that still hit me hard, man. Because man, that hit me hard, because I talked to Hank on Twitter about 3 weeks ago. Upbeat, but that's why I tell y'all, man. Please get the hate out your heart, because we don't know what tomorrow gonna bring, or if we even gonna see tomorrow. Please learn to be, like my pastor said the other day. Please learn to be kind to people, man. Please learn to be kind. Please, that's all I say. Be kind, and that's free. That's free. But again, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We truly appreciate y'all. We got more guests coming. We still working behind the scenes, but we're gonna try to pull some more guests on so y'all can talk with these position battles, because we wanted to talk receivers with Terance. We got to do that. We got other guys we can talk positions with, and trust me, we're gonna work on the behind the scenes. But for my boy Chris, man, we're gonna have y'all bring y'all latest greatest news, like I said. But thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna roll on that, because I think the chicken wings, I think the oven just went off, because I gotta have my chicken wings, and y'all know I do. But for my boy Chris, my boy Clint, Terance Mathis, thank y'all for tuning in. We truly appreciate y'all, and we're gonna roll on out of here, man. Peace.
Peace.